Hi, I'm Tony Freeman. This is Wholesale Graphene. We have an exciting video for you today. We also have some demonstrations on the additive that we have created, and I am very excited. So this is our new graphene additive for car paints or vehicle paints. It can be applied very easily and mixed very seamlessly into almost any paint solution, and I'm very proud of this. Let's go back to the start. So in 2016, I was a keynote speaker at an automotive event, and the event was called the Automotive Thermoplastic Composites in 2016, and that was in Dusseldorf, Germany. And that was a really good event. I really enjoyed it. We're talking about various different types of graphene applications, fast charging batteries, lightweight composites, reinforced polymers, and I actually did predict that graphene would be in every car by 2020, which unfortunately hasn't happened. But one of the applications I did mention was that graphene would be in paint. Now, back in 2016, we were advising some aerospace companies on graphene, and I thought that the next evolution would be weight saving, increased toughness, flexibility. Surely the car industry would be interested in these applications, especially if you're improving the co-efficiency of your vehicle. And I haven't seen it. There's been no real research done. After completing the car detailing video, I dug deep into Google Scholar, trying to find out what companies have done. And there's not a lot of data out there. Yes, sure, there's lots of information regarding different types of paint applications, but not for the car industry. And I thought, right, this is a real good opportunity here. So I popped along to my local store, and it's a car paint company called The Car Paint Company, CPC. They're based in High Wycombe. They provided us with some paint samples, and we started mixing graphene. And actually we found there was an adverse effect because of graphene's hydrophilic properties. It was reacting with the solvent, it was reacting with the pigment, and basically it wasn't providing a good coverage at all. And in fact, it was terrible. And also it was clogging the nozzles of the spray. So I decided, obviously using my experience and knowledge, to develop a solution for that, and I have, and I must say it's an absolute game changer. So with this solvent, all you need to do is add 10 milliliters per liter of our graphene solution, give it a really good mix for about a minute or so, gives you nice even dispersions, doesn't interfere or react with any of the solvents present within the paint itself, and it does a really nice job. Now, when you're looking at the color of your panels and your paint work, that's really important, because as a consumer, you want to pick a color of a car and you want that color. Okay, and I get it. Now, if you add graphene into that mixture, it does affect the color ever so slightly. The tint difference is 0.3% difference, which is not visible with the naked eye. So the one on my right hand has graphene, and the one in the left doesn't have any graphene at all. Okay. So what we're going to do now is a series of tests for you, where we show you the graphene properties, which I think are absolutely amazing. Okay. Okay, so let's take this back to the lab. It's common practice for mechanics and paint technicians to use a heat gun as a way to restore bodywork and panel work. By applying heat onto the metal surface, it then causes the metal to expand and pop back into place. However, this often causes damage to the paintwork. So, this panel does not contain graphene. This panel has graphene. That's subjected to 550 degrees under the heat gun. So what we have is a very simple test that we conduct. We put the pin through the cork and it makes a very, very small sharp edge on this side, and we put a 100-gram weight onto the top of the cork. And what we'll do is we'll rest the weight onto the cork and we're just going to pull it across, and we're going to do the same test on here. And now we're going to do a side-by-side comparison on how the scratch test performed. Okay, so let's start with the one that does not contain graphene. Yeah, this one does not contain graphene. You can see a very faint but continuous line here right across the surface. I'm going to take some pictures of this. And the one that does contain graphene, I'm actually struggling to see where it's scratched. Okay, let me do that again. Let's conduct the same test again. That is amazing. That is truly amazing. There is no visible scratch that I can see. Right, the results are in and I'm very excited. So let's give a summary very quickly of the results. Okay, I need to calm down. So 550 degrees with our paint, with our graphene additive, stood up, and there's no blemishes, no bubbling, no damage, and I'm really, really excited by the results. The one that did not contain graphene obviously bubbled up and it's very distorted, and we had a few close-up images, but at the very end of the video I'm going to add some imaging so you can actually see a like for like. But it's very, very clear that the graphene offers maximum protection for the car paint. We compare that to now the puncture tests. The puncture tests, we took a chisel, approximately about 1/2 meter. We dropped the chisel and it made an impact into the panel itself. The difference was that the one that did not contain graphene flaked off, and actually the puncture wound and the paint damage was a lot more than the one that had graphene in. So the one that contained graphene, we see a very, very straight, accurate puncture wound, and there's no flaking of the paint whatsoever, which in my opinion is amazing. And finally, we've done a scratch test. We took a pin, a weight of 100 grams. We dragged it across the panel of the one that did not contain graphene. It had a nice long scratch along the surface. However, when you compare that to the one that contained graphene, we performed it twice because the results were so good that the that the panel was unmarked by the pin and the weight of 100 grams. So I'm very, very happy with that, very excited, and hopefully you can see the benefits of just adding graphene.
Thank you very much for watching our video. I hope you found it informative. Please remember to visit our website, wholesalegraphene.com. The link will be in the description below the video. We'd love to hear about your special projects. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. But for now, thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye for now.